So I was asked, actually I was told by my own mother on a Facebook post, of all things, why it is I'm so, anti-government, anti-establishment, stuff like that. So I figured I would go ahead and just make a video. If she happens to get onto any of her online social causes, happens to stumble across this page, maybe she can see this. But I'm going to tell you right now, for those of you that haven't already figured this out, okay, the United States government, top to bottom, state to federal, needs an entire makeover of its government. And I don't mean a type of makeover where, one person leaves office and another one gets voted in. No, I don't mean that. I mean they need a makeover. They need a forced makeover, an intervention, if you will. This was once a great constitutional republic when it was founded. We went on from 1789 up until the early 19 teens or mid 19 teens as such. But in the decline of Western society from probably right around 1917 or so up until 2020, there's a couple that, this government has mutated into nothing but corrupt bureaucrats who believe that they can rob the citizenry of life, liberty, and property without any kind of due process. I mean, think about it. We have all these nifty different laws in place, and not a single person who talks about these bills that they share on Facebook, and this politician voted down, that politician voted down, this politician sponsored it, and that politician brought it to light, can tell you exactly what's in the motherfucker. None of you. Because you don't sit and read them. I had people in Virginia during this quarantine lockdown crap that Governor Northam decided he was going to do. Now, don't get me wrong. The coronavirus, COVID-19, the Holocaust, the Wuhan wheeze, or whatever you want to call it, is a very serious thing that infects less than 1% of the entire population. But once it does infect, of those infected, it kills somewhere around 4%. That's a lot higher than like the flu. Not as high as, overdoses and DUIs. Of course, you can't go outside and catch crackhead, but you will go outside and catch somebody else's fender in your ass. And at high speeds with drunk drivers, you catch them. You don't, that isn't something you make a choice to do. But I digress. This whole COVID-19 thing is very serious, and I'm not, trying to do it. But here's the thing. They started passing packages for stimulus right after all these states went on quarantine and all this other kind of stuff. And we don't know what's written into it. Okay, we don't know what the plan for the Democrats was entirely. We don't know what the plan for the Republicans was because it gives them all special power. It definitely gives them a little bonus in pay throughout the year. But even Governor Northam, I'll give you this. He decided he was going to go on and say, hey, look, people, I'm now going to make a law what I have been suggesting all along. It's what he said. Now, I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. But I do pay attention to what people say, and I do read laws, and I do read reports, and I do that kind of shit. And I remember very distinctly seeing one particular person on my Facebook say, oh, well, we have a curfew at 8 o'clock. No, dipshit. The law goes into effect at 8 o'clock. Now, what they're going to charge you with if you're gathered in a group of more than 10 people is beyond me. Probably some kind of disorderly conduct that's bumped up to a Class 1 misdemeanor rather than a court appearance ticket. Which is fine, whatever. Anything to kind of, get us out and doing what we're supposed to be doing normal again. But you got people that won't even read the motherfucker and will sit there and tell you that you're wrong despite the fact you read it when the Emperor executed Order 53 and 55. And my own mother. I posted a meme on Facebook which started this whole fucking war about how I believe that, yes, the coronavirus is a very serious thing and it is killing people. But I also believe that the government has some kind of underhanded bullshit that they're pulling and they're using the coronavirus as a platform to disguise whatever it is that they're trying to do. I believe both things are going on. The coronavirus is real. The coronavirus is killing people, but the government's also using it to hide crazy shit that they're doing behind our backs to rob us of even more liberty. And let me tell you something. Those who sacrifice their liberty for security deserve neither and will lose both. It's just that simple. If the government's challenged in any way about any of this kind of stuff, keep in mind, they will pass bills in which they can hide language that will subvert the Constitution and allow them to continue their treason against this country. Because remember, this country is supposed to be a constitutional republic. It's a government of the people, for the people, by the people, governed by the people. Those politicians only make the laws with the consent of the governed. If you don't like it, guess what? You have a voice. You are part of the citizenry, not those fuckers. And if you people would start getting that mentality instead of this being the sheep in an enclosed pen mentality where you only eat when the shepherd comes to feed you, and you only go where the sheepdog tells you, because literally, if you think about it, the shepherd is literally the executive of every state, the executive of this country, all the congressmen, and all the Supreme Court justices. And the sheepdog, well, that's your police force. And a lot of your military, because they buy into the same fucking rhetoric that the rest of you blind assholes do. It's fucking ridiculous. This whole thing is nothing but governmental treason against the people. Yet you won't say anything about it because you're scared. You're quaking in your fucking boots. That's all this government does, is they just want to rob people, make themselves rich. That's it. That's all they want to do. People say, oh, Donald Trump doesn't do that. Donald Trump. Let me tell you something. Donald Trump's made his fair share of business decisions while he's been in the White House that's going to boost his businesses above and far beyond. He'll even probably get a fucking reality show about my life as the president if he's not reelected. And then you Bernie assholes out there going on about how he's getting robbed out of his elections. Hey, look, dude, you people don't show up to vote. Okay, it's just that simple. Okay, I think it was like 10 or 20% of all people who claimed to have supported Bernie showed up to even vote in the primaries. You guys are fucking stupid. You don't just put a sign in your front yard and say, that's it, buddy. Hope, good luck to you, and expect him to win and then bitch when he doesn't. It's not how that whole thing's supposed to work. But then again, back to the whole voting thing. That's another very interesting thing. Voting does nothing. Your vote does not count. Your vote doesn't count at all. We leave it up to electronic systems. You know what else they leave up to electronic systems? Unemployment right now. At least in Virginia. I've got 3 or 4 friends right now who cannot reach the unemployment commission because they've never had to file for unemployment a day in their lives, and they're not getting their payments and they can't figure out why. But yet they've paid into that fucking insurance their whole lives, and these are people in their 40s. And they can't get a little bit of relief. Because I guarantee a couple of them probably aren't going to get that relief tax check. Your vote doesn't count. Your voice doesn't matter. The government doesn't give a shit. Protesting the government to redress grievances does nothing. Signing a petition does nothing. Showing up to the polls will do absolutely nothing. Because this country, like George Carlin said, was bought and paid for a long time ago. And you know what? They don't care about you. They don't give a fuck. They want your money. They want your property. They want to take. Even old Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, the freshman congresswoman from up in New York, who's dumber than a box of shit, is going to learn very quickly after her first, go around with the government. Take. She'll get all kinds of donations, pocket the money, same way her hero Bernie Sanders did. Bought all them houses with the people's money that he didn't return when he dropped out of the race in 2016. When he was running against Hillary Clinton for the nomination. But y'all don't want to look into that. Y'all don't even want to take a peek at that shit. Y'all don't want to talk about the recovery rate of coronavirus. Y'all want to believe everything the government fucking says. They cram it down your throat. And all the while you're watching Statistic A about people dying. Oh my God, it's terrible. They're creating mass hysteria, which leads to creating an even bigger amount of stupidity across this country. Meanwhile, they're turning around and saying, well, you don't deserve rights against illegal searches and seizures. You don't deserve this. You don't deserve that. So we're going to create language that subverts the Constitution, but not in such a way that it's, anti-constitutional. And by the way, they're probably on the phone with other Supreme Court justice buddies, like that cop out in Kansas, who pulls somebody over because he ran a tag without probable cause and knew who the vehicle was registered to, and that showed up that person's license was suspended, so he pulled the vehicle over. You don't know who was driving that fucking vehicle, and you had no right to run their license plate to begin with. That's creating criminals. That's all that's doing. He drove suspended. And while we're at it, why is it that he has to pay the state to identify himself through a driver's license? Yeah, take a test. Just like you should have to take a test before you buy a gun, go to a gun range or something. But your license should never have been revoked, especially if you can't pay fines and fees, because guess what? If you can't pay your fines and fees, but you need a driver's license to do a job, you're in debt to it forever to the government, because that's all the government is. They look at you as an ATM. They are the big fat fucker standing at the ATM machine of the people, sticking their big dick in its ass, and you're coughing the money out of your mouth. That's what it really is all about. Trying to do anything about it does nothing. And you motherfuckers are too scared to say anything or rise up against it. And that's part of the issue. You just listen to whatever bandwagon social cause bullshit that the news has told you to follow and to be all about because you think it makes you progressive and woke, whatever the fuck that means. By the way, woke is past tense, okay? Just for you morons that don't understand English comprehension, it means that you cared about it in the past. You don't care about it now. But it doesn't make you progressive. It doesn't make you smarter. It makes you sound fucking stupid. This whole Tiger King bullshit with some queer motherfucker that bought Tigers $2,000 and some chick named Carol who apparently killed somebody and the one dude went to prison or something. I don't know. I won't watch the fucking show because it just seems all too surreal. Plus, I live on the border of Virginia and West Virginia, so I get to see weird shit like that all the time, only on a smaller scale. Plus, I watch the government literally kill people and get away with it constantly. But you people will follow any kind of social media trend, social media cause. Everybody's talking about the coronavirus and how, oh, there's never been a time. This is almost like September 12th, 2001. First of all, let me tell y'all something. This ain't nothing like September 12th, 2001. Half of you asswipes are sitting there screaming on social media, oh, you're stupid for wearing gloves, but you got to wear gloves. And if it's not this kind of mask, you need to go out and buy this kind of mask. And you're stupid if you don't wear a mask. But if you wear this mask, you're stupid for wearing this mask. People are doing things that make them feel safe. Yes, some of it is inherently stupid. But who the fuck are you to be going on social media and telling them that stupid shit? They're at least making an effort. What the fuck are you doing? Nothing. Fucking ridiculous. Most of this social bullshit is just put in place anyway to divert attention from the fact that these elected officials are robbing you of all you have and of who you are. You know, when this whole coronavirus thing is over, now that Bern'd's dropped out of the race, don't be surprised if the next 3 weeks we won't find some kind of magnificent vaccine for it and everybody will be allowed to go back outside again. But they'll probably charge a premium price for it because it ain't going to be free. And then everybody's going to have to pay back all the suspended mortgages and rents and electric bills and all that other kind of stuff that they thought they were going to get for free to begin with. You know, the shit that Bern'd promised you that wasn't real. You know, that $1,200 stimulus check that everybody's supposed to start getting sent out here in the next week or two that you guys are supposed to get. Yeah, don't be surprised if in 2021 you don't get any return. You know what I mean? That's part of the fucking problem. Is you guys will sit there and you'll focus on that. You won't focus on the fact that bills are being presented in Congress, probably over social media, voted on socially, just like the NFL is going to have a virtual draft, and your rights are being stripped away. And do not be surprised that if in some states the governors call for martial law and start deploying soldiers in your neighborhood. But the National Guard, I wouldn't worry too much about that because that's not really soldiers, you know what I'm saying? That's Barry, the part-time busboy from Applebee's who had nothing better to do one weekend a month than 2 weeks out of the summer.